let's get started. So the first thing I did was I found a beach background that I wanted to use. I found it on Google and I saved it to my MacBook, and I opened my Silhouette Studio and I opened the image as well. So what we're going to do is slice this image into text. If you've watched my Pennywise tutorial, I did this same technique in Cricut Design Space, but I'm now going to show you all how to do the same thing in Silhouette Studio. So the word that I want the image to be in is beach. So I'm going to type that out all in caps. Now I'm going to switch my font. In order for this to work, you need a font that is thick and bold. So what I use in Design Space is Impact, and I believe I also have that in my Silhouette Studio. So we are going to switch it now. Okay, and we are also going to enlarge the word like so. And we're just going to place it over the part of the image we want it to cut on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the letters a little bit closer together, and to do that I need to select it and ungroup. Now I can slide each of the letters over. The closer the letters are to each other, the better this technique works, but you also want to make sure that the word is still legible. So that should be good. Now what we are going to do is select all of it, the image and the text, and we are going to go to our modify panel and hit crop. It's as simple as that. We are going to now select all of these and group so that they stay together. Okay, now that we have our image and our text complete, we are just going to add the rest of the writing. I would like this tank top to say, "No one likes a shady beach." So we are going to type out in all caps, "No one likes a," and I want this to be a regular font. So let's go over here. I mean, it's already a regular font, but I want something a little different. I'm so used to my Cricut fonts that I'm not too sure what I have. We'll just use the marker font. Okay, and we're going to switch that to white. Now we're going to type out shady. For this, I want a script font. I'm going to select our fonts over here, highlight, which I always have trouble doing with my MacBook. Okay, and for that we will use, I think I want to use Wild Ones. I like that font. I'm not too sure I like that for this though, actually. Sorry guys, I'm so indecisive. Let's try this one. Okay, we'll go with that one. So now we're going to weld so that it cuts all the letters as one. We are going to switch the color to white. Since the tank top that I'm using is a light color, it's a mint, I want to make sure that the writing stands out. So what we are going to do to ensure that you can read it on the tank top is create an offset. So what I did was I selected my first line of text and I hit this little icon over here that is the offset button. You hit offset, and then right here the distance will scale down the shadow that it creates, and then you hit apply, and now I'm just going to make that black, and I'm going to do the same thing to shady. we're going to select, hit the offset icon, select offset, and then scale it down because I don't want it too thick. Hit apply. And now I'm going to my color palette and I am going to select black once again. And I think for sure this will stand out now. Let me just, oops. Select it all, select both layers and stretch it. I'm not too sure how exactly I want to do the placement just yet, but I am going to group the shadow layer and the text layer so that when I move it around I don't mess up the placement. I think I might overlap it like so. I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, so now let me move this away. We need to get our image and the text set up to print and cut. So we are going to go to the page setup panel and we need to add our size of our page, and it'll show us right here how it is going, what would print. It would print off the corner of the page. So we are just going to rearrange this to where it fits on the page. And also you're going to want to measure your shirt so that you have the correct sizing that you want the design to print. As far as I know, with Silhouette Studio, there are no limitations. You can print a full page. To make sure that I print properly, what I'm going to do is add my registration marks now before I print, just so that I can make sure I'm in the page. So this red border is what I always stay in. This fits perfectly. It is 9.3 inches, 0.369 inches long, and it will be 3.2 inches high. I might make that just a little bit higher. Okay, I'm going to get this printed and then I will be back to show you how to apply it to your Okay, it is already printed, so now we are going to go ahead and go over here and hit send. The Cameo, I am still learning. It has so many different options when it comes to cutting. I'm still not 100% sure what exactly these mean, but we are just going to chance it and go with the fill option right here. And the pattern fill color is highlighted or check marked, and the outside of each letter is highlighted in red, and red normally means that it will cut exactly what you see highlighted in red. So I am hoping that I don't mess this up and that it cuts exactly what is shown right here. For the inkjet printable HTV, the cut settings for your Cameo are the material is sticker paper. So you want to make sure your material is set to sticker paper. If you are doing this on a Cricut machine, the cut setting is your normal vinyl setting. So we are going to go ahead and hit send. My Cameo is connected via Bluetooth. I'm going to get the inkjet printable HTV loaded onto my mat, just how it's shown right here with the wording starting with the B on top. And I'm going to hit send and hope for the best. Okay, you guys, it cut perfectly fine on that setting. So we are in the cleared. Now that we have this printed, we're going to move it off of the mat. Whatever is pictured on the mat is what we'll cut. So we are going to take our registration marks off because we do not need them now. And we are going to put the size back to 12 by 12. Now we need to cut our writing. Since this is going to be on HTV, we need to flip our image or mirror our image. So flip horizontally like so, and we are going to hit send. Now we are going to stick with this fill cut option because it's been working. So the first one that is highlighted is the black. So I am going to get my vinyl loaded onto my mat with the shiny side down, just the black vinyl. We have our material now set to heat transfer smooth, and we are going to press send and get this cut. Okay, the black is cut, so now we are going to take the check mark off of that and highlight the white, making sure that our material is still sent to heat transfer smooth. And we are going to load our white HTV now, shiny side down as well, and have that cut. Okay, to avoid this video being super long, I've already weeded my black HTV and my white HTV. And now we are going to weed the inkjet printable heat transfer vinyl. So I'm just going to take my weeding tool and start at the corner to detach it from the backing. I like to do all this on my mat because the stickiness of the mat usually helps keep the vinyl in place. However, I've used this mat quite a few times now, so the stickiness is wearing out. So we're just going to take off all the excess vinyl, like so. Oops. Want to make sure I have all the middle pieces removed as well. I don't want those pressed on to my tank top. Okay, I believe everything is removed. So now, if you remember in my Pennywise video, I pulled up each letter piece by piece because I wasn't aware that heat transfer tape exists. So I got my hands on some now, and we are going to use it to transfer our design. I haven't read much about this yet, so I'm not sure if it can be used more than once, but I will ask and find out. So we are just going to place this over our image. I'm going to use my squeegee. And what this is going to do is it's going to lift it all in one piece, just like normal transfer tape would normal adhesive. Okay, I was having a bit of trouble with the transfer tape. I didn't read any directions on it, and I should have, but I never do. Lesson learned. So what I did was I gave it a little head start using my weeding tool. This transfer tape is very sticky, so you have to be careful. Now it's weeding. Fine. If a letter is still sticking to the backing, just do what I did. You want to pull at an angle. And also, if the letter isn't coming up, you want to give it a little help, like this A isn't coming up. So I'm just going to use my tool to separate it from the backing. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go on over to our heat press. I am going to preheat it first. First we'll do the Craftables Smooth HTV, and I have my instructions right here. So for the Smooth HTV, we need to set the temperature between 300 and 315 degrees. We need to press it for 10 to 15 seconds and peel after 10 seconds. So we will do that. I don't know if it has the, I don't think I see the heat settings for the inkjet printable. So we'll just leave it set to what it is for the Smooth HTV. Hopefully that works. Okay, just for reference, I set my design down to see where exactly I wanted it to be placed. It's not pressed onto the shirt yet. My heat press is preheated, and I like the placement like this, so I am going to remove the writing. We are actually going to do the inkjet printable first. Earlier I said we do the vinyl first, but I wanted the writing to possibly overlap on the image. So I am putting down a piece of parchment paper, and I have my heat press set to the correct amount of time and to the correct amount of heat. Okay, the timer has gone off, so I am going to remove the transfer tape now. I shaked my shirt a little just to like release some of the heat, and I'm going to slowly start removing the transfer tape. Okay, now I am going to add the writing back and line it up where I want it, and then I will remove the top layer, which is the white writing. Right now we are only going to press the shadow, which is the black vinyl. Okay, now that the black layer is done, I'm going to remove the parchment paper. I'm once again going to let it cool for just a bit, and then I will remove the transfer sheet and add the white. Okay, now that all the layers are pressed, I am replacing the parchment paper on, and I am going to press it all together one last time for 15 seconds. We're all done. Thank you so much for watching.